TNT Super Fantastic Family. Today is Wednesday, Hump Day, October 28, 2020. Rayman 98 here, along with.
Good morning, TNT. It is Wednesday, and we are about to get over the hump. I mean, the big one. We're about to get over it, I think. But we'll see what happens. All right, Ray, what you send out? Anything?
No updates went out for today.
Oh. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to start with this. It is absolutely my job. You know I don't get paid. My job is to give you guys the latest, greatest information, help you walk through this process, and hopefully make the best decisions we can before we get it, while we're getting it, and after we get it. So, if something happens dramatic or really exciting, trust me, I will tweet it out to you. Ray will put it in the form, or we'll do a call. So, but I understand everybody's emotional because I'm emotional. And everybody wants to have all the information, but there's no way I can call you guys or let you know minute by minute what's going on when I'm finding out myself minute by minute. And things change 2-3 times a day, which they do. And I'm saying that because I always said we'll send out updates and let you know as soon as we can. I just can't take all the phone calls and the texts and everybody asking me what happened, this and that. I said, trust me, I will send it out to you. If there's anything that I can send it out, I will send it out to you because I know how everybody feels. I could say, I wanted this over with so bad last weekend. Y'all don't know. Evidently, nobody knows how bad I wanted it, except for Tish. Everybody know who Tish is? Anyway, Tish sent me a message this morning. It says, never give up on something you really want. It's difficult to wait, but it's more difficult to regret. I want to give her credit for that, but I ought to tell you guys the exact same thing. Don't give up. The bankers themselves have been saying, we've never been this close. We've never been this excited. You know, things are going on. Well, besides being mad about being there, sitting there, and it not happening, because they are getting so excited. And I can say that especially about New York, New Jersey, because they get mad. Texas is not mad because, of course, they're not there. They're, you know, we don't even know what you guys are talking about. That's what they're saying. We don't even know what you're talking about. They're not telling us anything. They're really keeping them blind until the last moment for some reason. But everybody else thinks we're in a good place. Washington thinks we're in a good place. I can tell you this is what they did say, though, without a doubt. There's nothing holding us back. There's nothing holding it up. They are, in fact, moving forward, which means what I can conclude is what we always thought. There is a date and time. They're just walking up to it. That's all. There is a date and time. They're saying, we're being told, anyway, nobody's blocking anything. We just haven't got there yet. Just haven't got to that date and time. It is not being blocked. It is waiting for the moment to happen. Now, all you ladies can understand this. Men can't, but It's like giving birth. You know it's going to happen. You can feel the pain, the strain, the excitement, the let's get it done. You just don't know when that moment's going to come. And that's where we're at. That's where they're at. Giving birth to a new economy, a new opportunity, and for us, a new way of life. That's what we're waiting on right now, for that moment to come, and it is coming. They do still think it's this month, or it's before the election, which is Monday, right? I think it's Monday.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right. I don't really know when the election is. You guys hadn't noticed. You know why? Oh, no, it's not Monday. Oh, yes, it is Monday. It's the 3rd. No, the 3rd is Tuesday.
Right.
So, I don't really know. Didn't really know. You better know. Because I already voted. Which you guys should do instead of waiting for the last minute. I don't care who you vote for. Just vote. That's all. Just have a voice. Just like right now. We're trying to have a voice to get this done. All right. So here's the update to all that. Iraq is sitting pretty. The demonstrators are there. Al-Kazemi is praising the demonstrators and how they are being calm and professional about demonstrating, about how they aren't rioting, destroying stuff. They're just sitting there saying they want their voices to be heard. He praised them today about not letting the militia and the bad guys influence them into turning violent. Because they said there have been attempts at it, but the demonstrators themselves have brought them under control or brought their attention to them, making sure that it didn't happen. So they're living with it right now, but they're still there, getting things done. So it's been real calm. As long as it stays that way, then we're going to be okay, I guess, until the announcement is actually made. See, there's no fussing, fighting, anything over there. Everybody thinks there's something else that we need, a vote on finance, a vote on the electoral law, a vote on 140. There's no votes being required. As they're discussing it, plans, having things. They even said they're not even going to vote on the loan program. They're already going to give them $9 trillion, and that's it. And there's no vote need to be taken. They've made a decision. That's all they're going to do. It has nothing to do with the rate coming out, anything else. So all we're doing is waiting for a moment in time for this to go live. All the bank screens, the rates are blocked. All rates are blocked. Been blocked the last week and a half. We know that. Yesterday, I was going to tell you guys, it was so quiet. I mean, the information was so closed up. You could hear a mouse piss on cotton. That's how quiet it was. I don't know if you guys ever heard that before, but you could hear it. That's how quiet. Nothing was coming out of anywhere. But we got information late last night, this morning. Because they've been in, meetings. They've been discussing. They are officially, as my guy in New York says, dotting I's, crossing T's, making sure everything's happening. Their challenge is they brought some more people in from out of the area, like I told you Monday, and they're bringing them up to speed on everything. And they're getting ready to go. That's where we're at. It's a good day. All right, Ray?
Okay. First question on the board here. Remember? California sugar. What has Vietnam accomplished? Or what must Vietnam accomplish in order to revalue its currency?
Vietnam doesn't need to accomplish anything. They were included at the request of China, and their economy is going to change that whole area. They're going to use them as a reserve currency. Now, Vietnam's only issue this morning is they are moving out 1.3 million people in anticipation of the typhoon that's coming their way. So that's what they're going through today. They don't have to do anything to revalue their currency. It is done. Okay, what's next?
Jim in KC. I am assuming most of us do not yet have a trust or foundation. Assuming the RV happens shortly, what would each of you suggest to do to mitigate taxation on interest income gained for the remaining 2 months, but also into next year? Do nothing. Invest the money, get the interest, pay the tax, and keep on trucking. Into nothing. Taxes. Yeah. So I'm going to get whatever interest I can get.
Okay. So, first thing is never say, I assume. As you guys know the old saying, what assume means ass out of you and me. So, we never want to do that. Doing what everybody else is doing. I try and look at the facts and figure it out. Guys, I am the perfect guy to tell you, get your money, pay your taxes, enjoy your life. Okay? Get your money, pay your taxes, enjoy your life. They got business professionals out there. It's their job to tell you how to pay as little as you possibly can, but do pay your taxes. I'm not so concerned about paying taxes, guys, because I think it's the right thing to do. I'm more concerned about making more dollars so I can pay my tax. So if I only made $100,000 and I know 50% got to go towards my taxes, then it's my job to make $200,000, right? So I can have more dollars when it's all said and done. I mean, that's my first job, make more money. I'm more concerned with that than taxes. It's my tax account, their job to figure out how to save me money, if that's the case. And I want them to. I'm not stupid. But when they can't, okay, then I'm going to pay what I need to pay. I'm not going to try and avoid it. Last 2 months, it's not going to be a whole lot. Just think about it. 2 months out of what you're going to make the next 5, 10 years on your interest, on your investments, on the change in your lifestyle. I even tell them here, take that. I'll tell Bush, take that just for allowing me to be part of this opportunity. You can have that. I'm not going to give you next year's either, but you can just have that. Is what I look at. I mean, I look at. Anyway, all right, Ray, what's next?
London 911 says, I'm in Texas and can't get back home until November 10. Can I exchange here? I have my currency with me.
You're from London? Is that right?
Well, that's the board name is London 911. I don't know where they're from, but they're in Texas.
Well, me either. I don't know where they're from. I don't know if they're still in their zone or not. I mean, I don't know where you're from. But anyway, just call the 800 number and tell them and find out. We don't have all the banking regulations, but we know there was a criteria if you're from out of the country to be here 6 months. And that's why, since he said London 911, I don't know. All right, what's next?
Dr. Pete says, is Texas at the exchange call centers? No. Okay. RKB1 apparently missed our last call when I referenced about asking us somebody else's information. So, I don't guess it's fair to ban people for being hard-headed. They have to do something more serious than that. Okay.
What you gonna do? Cut out their tongue? What are you talking about?
AZ Humber says, what are the current October 2820 rates for dinar? You don't know, the rates have been blacked out for how long now? Several days?
Yeah, last week he said he couldn't see. I told you guys on the call. He said they were blacked out then. Well, you know what? I mean, I guess I shouldn't speak for every bank, but I think every bank is. But quite a few are saying they can't see the rate at this point. I think nobody can see the rate except for the church. I'm not sure. But I know in New York, New Jersey, I mean, the north area, they told us the rates were blacked out on their screens. All right.
Let's see.
What's next?
In the past, you said the maximum dinar was 20 million for contract rates. Has that number changed? No. For our rich amigos, what rates could they get if they had more than 20 million dinar? I don't know.
What rates could they get? So
if
they got more than 20 million. So they got 2850 up to 20 million. Then it's going to be negotiable anywhere from $361 to $28. Now we do know some people who have already did their SKRs at $15, at $8, and at different rates. But if they're saying 2850 is the max for 20 million, if I had 21 million, I'd say just give me $28 in, and I'd start from there. And let's go.
Okay. What are the current dong rates? Okay, same thing. Okay. In the past, you said contract rate on dong had a maximum 50 million. Has that number? No, that number has not changed. Okay, same thing was in the last numbers we gave you. Okay, major concern. How can we get maximum rates and still divide all our currency among 3 major banks for healthy competition?
You get maximum rates if you can at one location based on your volume. Okay, how much you have. You negotiate with them on leaving 30% of that with them for a period of time in interest. But you also let them know you're going to take the other 70% and divide it up among some other banks and see who gives you the best results at the end of that period of time, whatever you select, year, 2 years, 5 years, and let them know right then, whoever it is, that's who I'm going to move 100% to. So they know what they're going for. They know what they're doing. While they're offering you money on that 30% interest rate, they're going to offer you money on what you leave in the bank. But now you get to walk over to the bank B, and C and say, hey, he gave me 20% interest on that. Here's my documents. What are you going to do if I bring this over here? What do you? Create the competition right from the start. They say, oh, we can do that. How much you going to leave here? But now you got that much on all your money. You got 3 banks that are fighting for it, and you got 3 different wealth managers that are saying, I got to be on top of my game with this guy because in 2 years, 3 years, whatever you said, I need that other 60% or 70% to come over here. That's their goal. They know the name of the game, and they know when the game's over. And you did all that right at your first meeting. Okay, what's next?
The Anteater 2, he wrote a short story instead of just posting a question. I skimmed over it, but when you talk with your bank folks, they can answer and address all of these questions that you're asking. Joe Schmo, and I exchanged my See Now friend's currency along with mine, then create a trust using his proceeds that will take care of him. Yes, and the trust that I would use for that is called a special needs trust, since your friend is See Now. I'm going to look into that. Special needs trust. Investigate that.
Wait.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know what his friend was. He said, see now. That's what you said. He's okay. I really didn't know what you were saying. I was saying, a what, friend? Okay. Go ahead.
Now, friend. So,
that's fine.
Angel Wing. Since many of us cannot start a foundation or trust before the RV, is there a limit as to what we can contribute to it once it is formed? No, there are no limits. Donate to a trust, to a foundation. And there's no limit to how much you can rent to a trust. But the only write-off capability is going to be what you donate to a charity, your foundation. But there's no limit to the donations. You're just limited to how much you can write off per year. And if it's your private charitable family foundation, it's your foundation for your family, that limitation is going to be 30% of your adjusted gross income. And I believe anybody else's foundation, it would be 50% because that's another recognized charity. And let me refresh, make sure that's the last question on the board, and we'll go to the live, folks. First caller is 209. Eric, you are on.
Good morning, guys. This is Happy Days. My question is...
Good morning.
Morning and afternoon. I think it was 2 weeks ago you had mentioned about people receiving letters from Wells Fargo about hours changing. I live on an island. We have one Wells Fargo, and I went to the top, the bank manager and stuff, and they knew nothing about it. So I'm wondering, those letters that went out, did the banks actually change their hours at other Wells Fargos? Do you know?
You know, I don't know because we talked to people at Wells Fargo. They knew nothing about it, just like you did, and talked to other people, and we actually have copies of the letters that went out. So to 2 different people. So I think it was, again, to let their customers know. Not every customer, but the ones they feel were going to be probably part of this or involved in it in some way. Or maybe they would just exchange locations. I don't know. I did talk to Wells Fargo people higher up, and they knew nothing about it. But the letter is out there. So.
Okay, well, that was my question for today. Thank you very much, and thank you again for everything you guys do for us. We appreciate it. I'm out.
All right, thank you.
972. Danny in Dallas.
Hello, Danny in Dallas. You guys okay today, I guess?
I am super fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Tony said, I'm surprised Ray didn't have an announcement on that sweep account. Should I go ahead and explain that?
Wait, did you tell Ray?
I did not. I thought you might communicate to him.
Well, Danny, you gave me bad news, so why do I pass along bad news?
You know, it was questionable news, and when the rest of the community doesn't know, it remains questionable.
Oh, okay. Well, absolutely. Tell everybody what you found out.
Okay. Well, everybody knows that you introduced us to the whole term of sweep account. Here locally in Dallas, there's a bank that's got multiple locations, but they're only in Texas and Oklahoma, and they advertise on their radio ad that they have all these services, and one of those, I think the first on the list, was we have sweep accounts. And then they went on to, we have this, we have that. And that caught my ear, and I mentioned that last call. Well, I heard the commercial. I went to the website. I got the contact number, and I called in. They had to call me back. And so I get the phone call. I talked to the little lady. I'm sure she's making $12 or $15 an hour to answer questions. And so I said, I'm really interested in a commercial I've heard here locally about sweep accounts. How do I qualify, and what are the restrictions? And she hesitated for a couple of seconds. I'm sure she had to look in her book to see what it was. And she came back. She said, yes, we have sweep accounts. And I said something to the effect of, well, I understand that on overnight situations, we can earn quite a bit of interest. And it went silent again. And she said, I don't know about that. And I thought, well, maybe I better start over. Can you explain to me the function of your sweep account? And then she hit me right in my neighborhood. This is something I'm very familiar with. She said, well, you know, when you have an overdraft and you need to pay a fee for that, what we do is we wait one time a month and we go to your savings account and we take those overdrafts out of that. We sweep them out of your savings. And I thought, oh my, this is not what Tony was talking about. So I asked her if she'd ever heard that term used in any other context. She said, no, it's right here in the book. So I said, well, thank you very much. And then I thought to myself, I probably ought to pass this on to Tony. So that was information that was disheartening, but I think everybody can identify with it. So that's my story.
And I'm sticking to it, huh? Okay.
So I'm sure there's others that can relate to that besides myself. I'm glad to hear that you were so positive about everything is moving forward. I'm content to be there. It's confusing, again, with things we've already talked about with the election coming up, and really this being a decision by the United States, not Iraq. We will be the ones who give the authority and release and get this thing going. So I'm content to wait, but it sure is hard to wait longer. You know, every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, we look toward this. I can't remember a time when I didn't look toward it. So here we go. I'll be in here with the rest of you and just waiting my turn to get that 800 number. That's all I got. I got to go.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Listen, guys, let me tell you something real quick before we go to the next question. What everybody should be thinking. First of all, there was no reason for this not to go on the 25th. No reason for it not. I mean, as far as we're concerned. It made every bit of sense to go before the people start rioting, like they did last year. Made every bit of sense. I wouldn't have even gambled on them having peaceful demonstrations. I wouldn't have. just based on the life they live and everything they've gone through. But they did. Now, they did because they think they've been transparent enough and they've been making things happen every week. They've been making announcements. They've been making changes to the banking laws, to the border crossings, to naming people who are arrested, to everything, showing the people we're doing it. We're doing it. We're making this happen. To even, approving the white paper and then putting the white paper out there so they can see exactly what it is. They were doing everything to tell them we're doing it. We're making it. And they took that chance because they've also been telling them we're getting ready to do this and we're this close to that day. We're this close to that day. However close it is. They're putting up information in the banks with the currency on it. They're telling them about their cards. And today a big thing was they can transfer money like we do from card to card. So like Cash App, Venmo, those type of things, they can send each other money on their cards now. So they made that announcement to them today, showing them again that things are changing. So Sunday, I was like, man, I wanted this to be over so bad. You guys just don't know. I wanted it to be over. But Monday, I was like, okay, I can't be mad. I should be depressed because we said one of two things are going to happen. They're going to do it on the 25th, they're going to do it on the 1st, or they're going to do it on the 3rd. Well, however way they want it done. But we know we're that close, and anybody can wait another week, I think, for it to be done. So what really makes sense? They're putting out, as somebody brought out on the call the other day, they're putting out the rates on the 29th or the 30th. That's effective the 1st of the month. Sometimes they're effective 31st, sometimes the 1st. So is that something we should be looking at or could be looking at? Because they didn't want to start it right at the end of the month. I don't know because nobody's telling me. What they are telling me is it's done. Nobody's blocking it. We're dotting I's, crossing T's, putting commas and periods in place. Hopefully you guys understood all that, what I just said. So with that means everything is moving forward. Everything's getting finalized. They're still excited. They're having, meetings every single day now. Not once a week, not every other day, every single day, which is what you do if you guys haven't been involved in projects, or you haven't been in the military, or you haven't worked for the government in meetings. The closer you get to something, the more meetings you have, the more you find them, the more you get ready to make sure. I was talking to a guy this morning, and it's exactly what I said to him, is what I'm going to say to you. If you open the floodgate, you better be ready for a flood. And they know that's what they're going to do. The moment this announcement is made, they will be literally opening the floodgates. And they're trying to do every single thing they can to be prepared for it, think of it, go through different scenarios. We get right up to it. And all that is good for us, all of that, because it shows that they're still going forward. I like the fact that last week, our guy was so depressed, and actually he gave me the exact numbers. How many people work in his region? How many refuse to come to work? They're not going to do it because Corona's getting worse, not better. And they weren't going to jeopardize their family for a paycheck, blah, blah, blah. So things we expected. But then overcome. But we know how many people they brought in from out the region. We know they're staying in the hotel down the street. I mean, we know they're finalizing and getting ready for an onslaught. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer. And the only longer part is they knew the date they were going to do it a month ago. We're the ones been guessing. We're the ones been given the window. But there is a firm date and time, and it's in our very near future. And the one thing Ray wanted me to tell you guys today was it's imminent. All right. Y'all know we don't use that word. We stopped using that word with Maliki. So anyway, go ahead.
Oh, me.
Uh-oh. Is that the bus lady?
No.
Now, what is... Well, hello, Ray. Hello, Tony. How y'all
Hey
doing
there.
today?
Good morning.
Good. It's a nice, cool, crispy day here today, so I'm sitting in the back, chilling, listening to you guys. I do have some questions today. One question was sent to me to ask you guys. I've already asked you that, but I guess they want to hear it from you guys. One of the questions that I have for myself is the readings that were supposed to take place. I think it was supposed to have been one reading tomorrow and another on Tuesday and another on Saturday. Since you said everything is done, Iraq is sitting pretty, then we're not even expecting any more readings on, well, I don't know, I forgot was it the Borean Law or something they were supposed to have been voting or doing the reading on? You remember that?
They were. Yep, I do. And they said they were going to do a reading on Saturday.
Did the one take place on Tuesday? I couldn't. At least I hadn't heard anything about it, so I didn't know if it took place or not. The second reading was supposed to have been Tuesday, and then the last reading I think was Saturday, right? Or am I incorrect on that?
No, you're correct. They were supposed to read on what they said, and then they said they were going to read on Friday to do it, right?
Or Friday or Saturday? No. But I didn't know if the Tuesday one even took place or not. So I was just wondering if you had heard.
I didn't hear if they did it or not. If they're not to. Because they said they would approve lending the government 9 trillion dinars, not the 31 trillion dinars that they want. They said they're not going to do that. They said, we will approve 9 trillion dinars for the last 2 months. That's it. So, are they going to vote on it on Saturday? We'll see. But they're already saying they're not going to grant what they asked for. Period.
Okay. All right. One of my other questions would be, well, we saw that article that came out about the CBI enabling the direct transfer of funds between the electronic cards. So when they do that, does that mean that the 3 zeros have dropped when they make transactions between cards like that? And the rate
No, that doesn't have anything to do with the change in the rate. It just gives them more capability in their banking system, that's all.
Okay, all right. And the last question is, I've been getting a lot of questions from Texans. They are beginning to become concerned, and they wanted me to ask you guys, should they be concerned that Texas is not at the exchange centers and call centers at this late stage in the game when everybody else is there?
Okay, so is this a question that you already answered?
I told them no, that they should be concerned because what you told us, that Texas could be there at the last minute whenever they make the call to say go. But I guess they wanted to hear it from you, so I'm asking.
Okay. So for everybody in Texas, do not be concerned about them not being there. As I said before, this thing was initiated in Texas. The server is in Texas. I mean, the guy who came up with the whole plan lives in Texas. One of the largest states with people with dinar, or the largest number of dinarians, live in Texas. So, if you want to be concerned with anything, be concerned with the fact that you wake up in Texas. That would be my concern.
Now, look at you going overboard watching. You need to quit your meal.
Look, shit.
Okay. All right, well, they hear it now, so I tried to tell them, but, you know, sometimes you just have to let people hear it for themselves. So,
well, here
because
it
I
is,
guess
too.
they thought maybe
If y'all want to be concerned about them Dallas Cowgirls and what they doing. And I can go on and on and on.
Look here, I think this here, we're going left with this now. I think we're going to go on back to the right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Those are all my questions. So I will.
All right. Thanks.
You know, my birthday is Friday. You know that. So hopefully this will happen on my birthday. How about that? Hey.
And how would I know that? Is it written in the stars?
I'm just
well, okay then.
All right.
Happy birthday. All right.
Thank you. Yeah, have a good day.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. 404. You are on.
Hi, Tony. Hi, Ray. Again,
Hi.
appreciate
Good morning.
your
How are
helping
you?
us. Hanging in there. I haven't ever surfed, but I feel like I know what it feels like to cling on to that surfboard with all 10 digits here. Glad to know that you both are doing well. You mentioned, Tony, in your earlier commentaries, with the bankers saying we've never been this close. And I know that from other things that you have said along the way that you really have a diverse resource thing within the banking community. How high of a level did that come from on the we've never been this close? Can you share with us on that?
Yeah. It wasn't high at all, which is a good thing because at the high level, we've been within 10 minutes before. Well, it wasn't this administration. It was the last administration. But at the low level, where the actually is at, and they're feeling it like something's really getting ready to happen, is the difference. We're doing things, we're meeting, we're being told things, and we're preparing things, and so they've never been that close. And that's the part they were excited about, but they were mad because they ruined their weekend when it didn't happen, and they were really excited about it. So
yeah. You know, you also use the terminology that they're walking up to a date and time. Sure seems more like they're crawling to the date and time, but when they were giving you that information, did they actually give you that information so that you are harboring the date under the NDA that you can't share it, but that we know that you do know it?
okay.
Besides minutes?
So, Tony, tell us something that you can't tell us, or ask Ray something that you wouldn't want to say.
No,
or
I just want to know if you know it. I'm not asking you to share.
I do know what they told me. I do know that there's an absolute date that they said they think this will be all over. We'll be standing in line at a bank somewhere. Yes, there is a date out there.
Okay.
Is it a true date?
I'm not going to press you
I don't
guys.
know.
I'm not going to press you guys on this, so you can keep your mouth closed on that. Somebody else can try to pry it out. I was just curious if you did have a specific date, because we're running out of dates in October anyway. Going over to things that are happening in Iraq, if I could kind of do some dot connecting over there, if I may. You know, we were talking about their need for getting rid of corruption and helping their citizenry and that sort of thing. I was intrigued with the fact that they now have a new head, sort of, I guess, like the governor or mayor of Baghdad. They also seem to be opening up roads again that haven't been open for a year or more. Are your folks saying that this is kind of leading up to having some celebratory types of get-togethers out in the streets? Because one of the areas was Tahrir Square, seeming to be getting all spruced up.
Okay, they removed all of the blockades. They opened up the green zone back from 8 to 6, I think it was, during the day. And just to not be so defiant, I think it is the reason. Not to make it so much of a confrontation over there, and not to make it look so bad to the investors, because they're saying we want it to be an investment-friendly zone. Well, nobody wants to come into a war zone trying to do business. So they did all that, which was great because they did it yesterday, yesterday, without anybody storming the buildings or burning anything down or any of that, because they have to show that calmness there. Today is a day of celebration because they're having Muhammad's birthday or somebody. Oh, wait, it might be tomorrow. Yeah. Is it a day of celebration over there for his birthday or something, which they always celebrating. But I think that the whole thing is when they do make the announcement, they want everybody to feel comfortable that they can start right now, and that's real soon.
Mm-hmm. Kazemi has given a speech, and I was curious whether or not I've seen the translated text on it. Presuming, was it televised? Are your sources saying that it was a televised, or are they just having to get this by reading their papers or things that may be posted on bulletin boards, sort of thing?
No, there's a speech he gave 2 days ago that we heard articles to, and I think it was
being posted Dateline today.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the big speech he gave 2 days ago. He gave a speech on the anniversary of the demonstrations and everything, and what they can look forward to in the country. But that was 2 days ago. I don't know anything about a speech today.
No, there's the one that's a Dateline today, and it's tied in with the more the religious Muhammad's birthday or something else tied in with that. But a lot of the phraseology that's in there, of course, I've got my Dinar goggles on, but, you know, it's sort of along the lines of we're needing to, we've been through a lot, but our people need and deserve better. And I keep thinking, are they laying the groundwork to really be saying, and here's a way to do it, we're giving you better values, currency in the forefront. I didn't know if your folks had said anything, shared any info on that. Like I say, I've got my Dinar goggles on. I fully acknowledge that. So.
Okay, nope, they haven't said anything about it. I haven't seen it, but it sounds like the same speech he gave 2 days ago, though. So I don't know.
Well, it was the verbiage on this one was different from what the thing was before. He's really doing an awful lot of stuff for being an interim, caretaker government prime minister. So we'll see. But 10 days from whenever this insanity comes to an end, we know that that's when our TNT Super Fantastic Pay It Forward project is going to be. And at this point, it sure looks like it's going to be November sometime. But better then than whenever. So appreciate it. Again, thanks so much for your info.
All right, thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 610, area code, you are on. G-Man.
Hey, good afternoon, Ray. Hey, good morning, Tony. It is G-Man MPA.
Hey, how you doing,
Hey,
man?
sir.
Doing super fantastic, gentlemen, and this is the long version. Ladies and gentlemen, for all of you who are new to the call and all of you who didn't know, all these calls and all the means of communication that Ray and Tony use to keep us informed need to be paid for. And it's up to all of us out here in the currency community to make donations in order to keep this information superstation on the air. You can help by going to www.tntsuperfantastic.com, clicking on that red donate button, and when you do, the name and address will come up to where you can send your check or money order made payable to Raymond Renfro, P.O. Box 1748, Elm City. That's just like the tree. Elm City, North Carolina, 27822. And for those of you who'd like to donate electronically, the Cash App is available on the donation page. And we have a new address for you. It is $TNT Super. Remember to capitalize $TNT Super in order to use the Cash App. And your donations will go through electronically. Remember to do it today, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be very, very glad that you did. And when you are sending in your donations, please remember to include your phone number. That way it'll make it easier for Ray to track those donations as they come in. As always, Ray and Tony, thank you for all you continue to do for us. Thank you to both of your families for continuing to share you with us. Thank you to those 13 task force members still out there, making sure that the bankers and meeting facilities are going to be available for us post-RV so we can get all that banking information. And remember, verification, negotiation, diversification, protect your principal. KYW, know your, and rally, so I can come join you and enjoy some of that good home style North Carolina barbecue. And as Tony said at the top of the call, ladies and gentlemen, remember to vote. Remember to vote. Thank you, gentlemen. Make it a dynamite day.
Hey, thank you,
All
sir.
right, thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
Okay, I guess we lost
Hello?
Ray. Hey,
Did we lose Ray?
how are you?
Hey, Tony, it's Walt. How you doing?
All right, man, how you doing?
Well, I'm sitting here, not in the truck, but in the front room, and that's a nice thing. So I'm happy about that. I too, like a lot of folks, was maybe been a little bit disappointed about the fact that it hasn't happened yet. But I always go back to what you said, but we got to go through it to get to it. And certainly, if we knew the date and were asked the question, would you still do this investment if you knew you had to wait to such and such a date? The answer would be absolutely yes. So I'm not too concerned about that fact. And as far as whether or not it helps or hinders for the elections here, I could care less. That's not a big deal as far as I'm concerned with whether or not it would turn the election in one direction or another. So I don't think any of that stuff is really relevant to this. The one thing I was going to pass along was that I think it's Currency Exchange International. It's their currency exchange in malls. Well, there's malls open here in Washington, and my niece bought dinar and dong there just the other day. So it is available. Now, I haven't checked with Wells Fargo, which is where I bought some of the dong that I have, and I haven't checked to see if they have it available again yet, but like I say, that one company, they do, and so I know that it's coming available, and I don't know if that's a good sign or not a good sign. Talked about when you talked before about
them not being able to buy currency just before this happens. So I guess I'm a little bit in a quandary there, and would be curious what your thoughts are on the availability becoming available again, if that's a good sign or a bad sign.
Okay, so I don't know that it's going to make a difference with the election either. Even when they were telling me that they wanted it the day before or on election day, I don't know what the purpose would be. I mean, to try to divert people from voting. Why? You need votes either way. I mean, both sides need votes. So that didn't make any sense to me. If you were trying to do it while people were distracted in lines at votes, well, people are not going to see lines at the bank anyway, because everybody's going to have their appointment time, and they're going to be going into exchange locations. So I don't see that. Well, did you want people to know that it just happened and we got all this money? Well, nobody's going to know. The day before, day after, there's not going to be a 6 o'clock news or every hour on the hour an announcement to tell everybody that, you know, the government just let 10 million of us become rich or millionaires without the other 350 million having the same opportunity. Nobody's going to make that kind of dumbass mistake. Okay, I mean, that's not I think so. I don't even know why they said it to start with, because it doesn't make any sense to me to do that.
Sure.
But I will tell you guys, they said, scratch that. They scratched all that. Nobody believes that is going to happen anymore, or that they're trying to. So they scratched that idea, and it's going to happen sooner rather than later. And I'm saying, okay, because that makes sense. Let's get this thing out the way as we go. Now, why the currency dealers can get currency and the banks can't, and it's not every currency dealer. Some of them are saying they absolutely cannot get it anymore. Why? For some reason, CXI is able to get it. Now, I can tell you CXI in Florida is saying they're only getting it because people are selling it back to them. And I'm saying, what the hell? Okay, I mean, what? And like, hey, people are bringing it back. And I said, okay. Those people are going to be the ones we hear about jumping off the bridge, jumping off the tower or something when this announcement is made. Where they say, I just did it last week. I just gave it up or whatever. Now, CSI here on the West Coast, I said the one in Concord closed, but they told me afterwards there's 2 others open, and they do have those. But I'm just not seeing it a lot of other places. The banks aren't doing it because they aren't getting caught up in it. And I guess the currency dealers are buying theirs in advance, and, you know, if it doesn't sell, guess what happens? They became billionaires, well, trillionaires, I don't know. I wish there was a rational reason for it. But I do know, and they've always said, right before this goes, they will be notified to stop selling.
Sure. Hey, without asking, because I know I heard CIA lady said she didn't want to put anybody on the spot, and as far as the date and all that kind of stuff, but I guess my question in regards to, well, kind of along that line, is what are your thoughts in regards to this happening before Tuesday?
Okay, so this is what we're looking at. CIA lady, she is well versed in subliminal messages, which obviously works for you.
Oh, got it. Playing with my mind.
So, that's right. She's good at that. She's like, I'm not going to do it. but I will put the suggestion in everybody else's mind. So,
Oh, wow.
anyway. Well,
I've become that, I don't know if it's annoying or scary.
Oh, okay. But I actually feel good with this happening before the election. Because it makes sense. I don't see any reason to drag it out. They are all, as Eric is saying, we're getting ready. Nothing's holding it back. There's a date and time that has been picked, and you guys just don't know what it is. There's nothing holding it, is what I was told.
Okay, well, then the only thing I have left to say is, CIA lady, please unhypnotize me so that I know I can go on and live a normal life, and I'll be good after that. Tony,
Yes.
thanks very much.
Good.
I appreciate you guys, and keep up the good fight, for sure.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks, you guys.
Bye.
We can't hear you. Can't hear you, Ray.
6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Ray.
Hey.
I have a quick question. I went to Chase a couple of weeks ago, and they said they wasn't selling no more dong. Where can I get it from?
I don't know. Do you have a CXI close to you?
No.
Currency Exchange International? Look it up. There is another currency dealer, too, I guess, online that's still selling it. I can't think of the name of it right now. I'll tell you who not to buy it from, though. Wait, what's the other? The guy's selling it for $150 a million. I hate to see that. When everybody else selling it for $57 a million, they're selling it for $120 or $150 a million, which I hate to see somebody taking advantage like that. I can't remember who it is, though.
Well, they want to take advantage of me. I ain't going to let it happen.
Okay, they say you can try CXI online. I guess they're online, and they're still shipping it, I guess.
Okay, do you pay for shipping it as well?
Yeah, I'd pay $20 for shipping, even if it costs $57 for $1 million, knowing I'm about to make $1 million off of it.
Okay, copy that. I appreciate it. Y'all have a blessing.
All right. Have a good
850. Area code, you are on. Can you hear me, Tony?
Yep. You said 850. You are on.
Okay. One more time. 850.
Can't hear him, though.
All right.
Hello?
Yeah, there you go.
313.
There you go.
This is
Wait,
313.
somebody said hello.
Can you hear me? It's cornbread.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. 'Cause every time you call 313, I'll be steadily talking, but you never hear me. So I don't know what was going on. Maybe it's somebody else on 313. Yeah. But how you guys doing? Everybody okay?
Yes, sir. Fantabulous, sir.
Fantastic, sir.
To the nth degree. And yourself?
Good. Oh man, I'm doing great, man. I'm just I've extended the amount of time that I could hold my breath, because I've been holding my breath for years, waiting on this thing to come on out where we could go to the bank. So I've come quite a long ways. I got another about 30 seconds I can do now. But anyway, Tony, I got a question for you. I don't think anybody ever asked this question before. In the state of Michigan, we don't have any Wells Fargos. So I want to ask you, do you think, well, we don't have any Wells Fargo banks, I should say, but we do have Wells Fargo brokerage firms. In fact, there's one not too far from where I live. And I was wondering if you think they would be doing any exchanges or redemptions at their brokerage firm, because it is a very large building.
I have no idea. All I know is I was told that Wells Fargo will have sources in every state. So somebody they're connected to do the exchange. So what their locations will be, I have no idea.
Okay. Well, if anybody's listening from Wells Fargo, you have a lot of people in Michigan that would like to go to your brokerage firm on 16 Mile Road to do our exchange. So set it up. And also, let me see. Have you heard anything from Sterling at all?
No. You know what?
No.
I haven't heard anything from them, but it seems like somebody brought up something about their case being dropped or something. I can't even remember what it was. But you can look it
Not
up,
the
though.
case.
There's a website. Yeah.
Yeah, not the case being dropped, but the sentencing. The sentencing date.
Well, we can't hear you, right? What'd you say?
Yeah, you faded out right after you said the sentencing.
The sentencing date was canceled. We're waiting for a new date for the sentencing.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. And also, Tony, I had a misunderstanding for a while with that, the max out on the contract rate. I know it's to $28.50 for the dinar, and it now is that 20 million dinar. They would take up to 20 million dinar and exchange it, or would it max out at 20 million in USD?
Wait, Ray gonna answer it, but I've been wanting to say this to you for a long time, because I know you have, what'd you say? Misunderstanding, misconception, or, what else is it?
Misconception.
I wanted to say something. Huh? Nope. I was going to mess with you something, though. I'm going to say, anyway, go ahead, Ray, say, yeah.
Good
I know you have some issues with New Jersey, but go ahead.
Yes, 20 million dinar.
Oh, great. Because I remember you mentioned that, but I'm just trying to, get it straight in my mind, because that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. Okay, thank you. And you guys be blessed, and come on, 800 numbers.
There you go. Come on, 800 numbers. Let's get this party started. All right, thank you, sir.
I hope you get them today. All right, cornbread out.
All right.
Okay. 386 area code. You're on. 386 916.
916.
Yeah, 386 area code 916. Okay, they just hung up for some reason.
Oh.
If they change their mind. 3 area code, you on. Hello? Hello?
Is it, did you say 503?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear the 5. Hi, this is Oregon, and I've got a couple of questions. The first thing is, Tony, when you were talking earlier and answering one of the questions, you had said something and I couldn't make out what it was. You were talking about, I think it was Iraq, that they were going to put out the rates, and you kind of mentioned like the 29th or the 30th, or can you explain that better, because I kind of barely got, your voice dropped and I barely got what you said.
Okay. It's okay.
So, when are the rates coming? Are the Iraqis going to put out the rates on the 29th or 30th? Is that what you were saying?
UN operational rates come out at the end of the month, right?
Right.
Usually
you were
on the
talking
29th or 30th.
Yes,
So hold on
that's
for
right.
a second. Let me explain to you. So,
Okay.
they have two options if they want to do it at the end of the month. They can put out the operational rates on the 29th to make them effective on the 30th first. And then they can change the rate and have to do it all over again. And everybody who set up for that for the last 2 days, all those countries would have to do it all over again. If they put the operational rates out on the 29th or the 30th, which they usually do. Or they could just go ahead and change the rate when they put it out and it be done and over with. Instead of having somebody do it back to back, all these countries, these transactions that they would be in the middle of in that time frame. So anything could happen. We just don't know what will happen.
Okay, so getting back to 404's question, when you were talking about that you felt like that it would happen prior to our election, one of the questions that I've always had about this whole thing is, do you think that this is being delayed because of all those agreements over there in the Middle East that they're trying to get signed up, all the countries that they're trying to work together? Do you think that could be causing some of this delay?
No, because I don't think there is any. He went to every country. They all signed memorandums of agreement. They all agreed when they're going to start everything else. He doesn't have any business scheduled the rest of the month. He's not negotiating with anybody. That tells us all that is done. They're not arguing over HCL. They're not arguing over 140. We're not hearing anything about them not moving money to Kurdistan. All the normal arguments are over. It's nice and quiet, and all they're talking about is what they plan on doing for the people in the future. We see none of what we usually see, guys. They're saying it's done.
Good. Okay. I was confused because, you keep reading about these agreements in the Middle East and all this kind of stuff, and if that had anything to do with it. Okay, so you clarified that. And then, and by the way, Ray, thank you for mentioning the Special Needs Trust.
Okay.
And that's very helpful. By the way, just as an aside, I found I have a power of attorney for an individual who has a brain injury, and we've been trying to find an updated form because the form that we used originally it wasn't a good form. But I did find at Office Depot some really good forms for limited financial powers of attorney, and that's the first time I've seen them there. And there's two. They come two to a package, but they're two different two different forms. One is, they're both called limited financial powers of attorney. But one is very limited, and for those who just want to have someone go in and do the exchange for them, they can get that and sign it and have it notarized just for that one event and nothing else. And then there's another one that is more extensive that, you can set up bank account, you can, it just gives the person with the power of attorney, to negotiate different options and things like that. But if it's just somebody who just wants somebody to take their funds to the bank and exchange them, there's one that's just real simple, and then there's another one that's more complex. I just wanted to pass that on. We just found that yesterday, and we're going to use that instead because it's just easier. Then the other questions that I have had is, do you think, I've never totally understood the role of the military and the role of the committee. Are those one and the same?
The role of the military and the role of the committee?
Yeah, because you keep talking about the Pentagon. So are these two, is the committee part, is that working in behalf and advising the Pentagon?
Okay, I thought you were talking about in Iraq. You're talking about over here.
Yeah, over here.
Okay. So, everybody works for the, for the government. Everybody plays a role in transforming the world, because that's what it is, the global transformation.
Right.
So, I want to say when money moves, power moves. And power moves, yes, at times even the military can be involved in it, in procedures. And again, we only know, like DC said years ago, probably 30% of what's really going on. So why is an economic committee, because that's what they deal with, having anything to do with the Pentagon at all? Why?
Yeah.
And it's a very good question. You guys remember, well, you guys who've been here long enough, 10 years, 12 years ago, that's when I got my first real introduction to this, was when I got the phone call, and they said, hey, they're talking about you in the Pentagon. And I'm like, talking about me? You remember that? Were you here then?
No, but
anyway,
I got in 2013. But I think you had mentioned it before in a call not too long ago. Actually, you mentioned it.
Right. So I'm saying the same thing you said. Why are they talking about me in the Pentagon? I mean, what does that got to do with what we're doing? But then the same thing when I start getting, senators, congressmen, and people in Washington, D.C. talking about me, and then CEOs of banks, and like, I can understand the banks and that and why, but what does the Pentagon have to do with it? The Pentagon has to do with it because it was multiple countries together, and anytime you do that, there's going to be a military aspect. They know that the value of each country's currency changes the way that country operates, changes their capabilities, everything else. And all of that has to be looked at. All of that has to be put together. There's a movie out, I can't think of the name of it, with Denzel Washington here in the U.S. Maybe somebody remember the movie, where the military was actually taking over because of the panic in the streets here in the U.S. There's still something they have to look at. They got to be 10 steps ahead of everybody else. well, what if this happens, this happens, this happens? Are we prepared for that?
Right.
So they absolutely would be involved in it. Do they have a military person making every decision? No. But involved in every committee? Yes. Did our committee guys actually work for a military person? Yeah, but I would tell you this, even before him, when we first started, our whole, I'm not going to say our whole connection, but our best connection and where our information came from, and I can tell you right now, and not just our information, but um, things that I was asked to do or to say actually came from military people. So it's a little bit different. And I probably should never said that part, but anyway. It was years ago. It's going to come out in the book anyway.
So the committee, though, is a committee that's made up of people from foreign countries. See, this whole thing came up for me when you were talking about when your committee guy said that they were, hesitant with what's going on in our own government, and all this kind of stuff. And so, and then he wasn't from the U.S., sounded to me like he was from another country. So that's what kind of threw me off. It's like, so is that committee made up of people from foreign countries too, in addition to our own military?
Yeah.
Okay. And because, are they like NATO allies or people like that, pretty much, on the committee?
Okay, that's the only place they could be is our allies. But we're going way too in depth.
Oh, okay. It just kind of threw me for a loop. And a couple of weeks ago when all that came up, I just, wow, it was one of those wow moments. And
I can give you some wow moments, all right. And actually, I have told somebody about some of them. But anyway, some people in person, some TNT people who actually know things they shouldn't know. But it's there. Again, what was the movie that the lady asked us all to go see? I can't even think of the name of it now.
Oh, yeah.
And I told you guys to go.
I watched that movie, and it was really a good movie. I can't call it now, but it was, I don't know. Maybe she'll email it to you, but I watched it. It was a really good movie. And I thought my husband watched it too. And then I think there was a sequel to it, and then we watched that as well. It was really an eye-opener.
That's right, but it was real. It's how, how government works on so many different levels that people don't understand it. And I know everybody wants to see the good in everybody, but believe me, our government is just as corrupt as any other government, so I'm not going to say it's not. And that's on both sides, so I'm not going to say it because that's just how government works. And bottom line, I don't care what any of them say, it's all about the money. Period. Okay?
Well, yeah, and I think
Let me get another caller.
Yeah, I'll let you go. And one more thing, you mentioned about people selling back their currency and and all that. I think part of that is just coming from the hard times. I really do. I think people are feeling really desperate. There's been no stimulus. I mean, they've got to eat. That kind of thing. And so I'm just really looking forward to this happening. And the sooner the better.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Right. So the name of the movie, guys, for those who didn't see it, is Backstabbing for Beginners. Okay. All right, Ray, we ready?
1-4. We'll get you in.
Huh? Oh.
5, 4.
514?
Yes, you're on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I called on Monday and I was talking about, I'm Canadian and have a U.S. Social Security number and I have currency both here, Canada, and in the United States. But I made a mistake of mentioning Wells Fargo in Indianapolis. I meant really Lafayette, Indiana, and so I checked it out, and there's a Wells Fargo about 40 minutes away from Lafayette, Indiana, in Monticello, Indiana. So wanted to clear that up, and I would go to that Wells Fargo in Monticello, Indiana, and see if I could exchange there. That would be the easiest, like Ray suggested. Also, if I was to, I wanted to ask, is it legal to fly with with this foreign currency from one part of the United States to another part of the United States? Do I have to declare what I'm carrying with me, although I'm within the United States and not crossing any international borders?
You do not have to. It is legal. You can crisscross the country when it is legal. But we have certain amounts. Sometimes they want to know what you're doing. I mean, security at the airport, they ask you, why you got all this money? They don't know if you're doing a drug deal or something else. But you legally can carry any amount you want to. They legally, and they have stopped people and taken the money from them and made them prove where it came from. Now, I think there's some southern states that I won't name. You guys can Google them, who had this bad last couple of years, cops just stopping cars and you're having money on you, taking your money and making you prove to get it back. And I know one girl who had, I don't know, it was 100,000 or a million or something. They took her money. I think it was almost $1 million. And it took her a year to get it back, but she got it back. And she was a stripper, and they took her money because they felt she shouldn't have had all that money. But the courts actually gave it back to her. But they have a right to do that. There's some states down there. So that's what I'm saying. Even in the airport, they can be like, this looks suspicious. He's acting suspicious. A lot of people tell you to fill out the document. Yeah, I got it. I got my receipts. It's my money. Makes it easier. I would tell you, if the RVers happen to do that, why take any of those chances? Why even go to an airport? Commercial, go through all that, especially with Corona. When you now have money in your pocket, go cash in a little bit, get your private plane, fly wherever you're flying to, and not worry about any of it. I'll just keep lights.
Well, Tony, even if I fly on a private plane, does that mean I never get checked? I fly into an airport from Indiana to New Jersey, and and I don't have to declare anything.
Okay.
And nobody checks me.
Rarely ever are private planes checked. Is there baggage checked? Anything else? Unless the DEA or somebody suspects something is going on.
No, I would have receipts for everything anyway.
Okay, no problem. I'm just telling you, that's just the easiest way. That's all. But anyway, thanks. Let me get this done real quick before I run out of time. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks.
I appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
All right, Ray. I know how much time we got. You got time? I can't hear you. Okay, I still can't hear what you're saying, but anyway, listen, guys, I got 2 questions I want to answer real quick and hopefully we don't run out of time because I don't know what he said. People ask me 2 things. One person asked, what's the best industry for 3D printing? What do I recommend? And that, guys, everywhere, it is our future. 3D printing capabilities has touched everything. Automotive industry, health industry, science. I mean, everywhere you look now, and it's just the beginning. People are going to be able to create their own businesses, business opportunities in their own garage with a 3D printer. So they have different ones, metal, plastic, whatever, wood. I mean, what they print can do whatever that needs to be done. So there's going to be a bunch of opportunities out there. They have a 3D printed car, the whole thing. Tires, everything, 3D printed, if you want to go there. They have houses that have been built with 3D printing. And you can Google all this. But they have arms and legs. They have heart valves that have been 3D printed. So it can be anywhere and everywhere. They got cups and saucers that have been 3D printed with tables. I mean, again, there's going to be a whole lot of opportunity out there because you have the money to not only do those, but be part of those and invest in those. And that's, again, the most important thing I could ever tell anybody, especially you guys who have it, is put your money to work. Don't necessarily work, but put your money to work in the right places, and you don't have to worry about it. But you do have to think about it. All right. The next thing is a guy sent me a question about network marketing, because I have been in network marketing. I loved it. I guess he's in network marketing. People want to know what I do. Network marketing, again, is it different doing it as a multi-millionaire versus just a guy off the street? Absolutely, it's different. But guys, this is why I did network marketing, if I believe. Because I believe in what I just told you guys. I believe in residual income. Always having network marketing afforded that if you have the right thing. So I did services, not products, because I only wanted to do it one time and get paid again. That residual income. And I believed in that. I believed in network marketing because it was me times 10, duplicating myself as often and as fast as I could, duplicating people. So for those who want to do it, I still think it's a great opportunity, but you have to understand in network marketing, period, very few people reach the top. Very few. Everybody sells a dream, but very few people actually reach the top. That executive and above us in any network marketing time. You could have 1,000 network marketers, or I had 13,000 in my download. The company had 100,000. There wasn't 300 executives. Not 300 people had even made it to the top. And the top is where you make the money at. But can you make it to the top? Absolutely, if you're willing to put in the work. And it is work. I mean, real work. It's work where you have to, be there for everybody, every minute of every day. Oh, wait a minute. That's kind of like this call. No, I'm serious. You have to teach, train, motivate. Network marketing is not easy to do. It's satisfying once you get to the top, but very few people get to the top. I'm being honest with you. But it's great. Would I do it now? Money? No. It has everything I want, though. And this was my goal even doing network marketing, what your goal should be today. What my goal is today. I wanted 5 different sources. 5 sources paying me a residual income. If I could get that, man, Because one ever fell off, I just replaced it. But as long as I had 5 sources paying me a residual income, then I always had money. Now, you have money, or you're about to have money. So what are you looking for? What should you be looking for? You should be looking for 5 different places to put your money to work. So it's making money for you. I want my interest. I want my IPOs. I want this business opportunity here. I'm out there looking every day for somewhere else I can put my money to work so I have at least 5 sources of income every single day that are paying me. Every single day, before I wake up in the morning, I got paid. That should be your goal. And they're out there. I don't care if it's 5 different IPOs, if their stocks go up and down. I don't care if it's 3D printing. I don't care if it's, I know the bank interest, your saving interest. He's put you in different business opportunities that are paying. But that's what I'd be looking at. If I had money, instead of doing network marketing, I'd let my money do network marketing for me. So I just wanted to answer those 2 questions for those guys real quick. All right, Ray, we ready? Yes, sir. Oh, okay. All right, guys. It's a hump day Wednesday. We're getting over the hump for sure. Everybody that we talked to this morning, yesterday was a quiet day. I told you guys how quiet it was. But this morning, late last night, everything's still positive. Everybody's still excited. You're seeing full steam ahead. Nothing is holding it back. We're just waiting to go. And every day we're that much closer. And I absolutely feel like something should, I don't know if I answered Walt's question or not, but I will, should happen before the election. So let's see what happens. All right, guys, do what I'm going to do and enjoy the rest of your day. If it does happen, anything happens, we will tweet it out. Ray will put it in the forum, or we will do another call if that's what it takes. All right, enjoy your day. Ray?